Here again, the New York Times. This bears repeating. The threat that closed the Los Angeles schools yesterday is now being treated as a hoax. Law enforcement and school officials said the emails to both New York and Los Angeles originated in Frankfurt, Germany, or at least were routed through there, and appeared to have come from the same sender. Now, the New York people, they're all bragging today. The New York, hey, we weren't fooled. We never, ever treated that email as a serious threat. We always knew it was a hoax. People in L.A. fell for it. We in New York didn't fall for it. But here's the real point of this. And this, I think, is a huge point. The authorities have concluded that it was a hoax because the author of the threatening email did not capitalize the name of Allah. So, in other words, the authorities concluded this was a hoax because the emails did not come from a truly devout Muslim. Now, what does that tell you? When we are constantly told that terrorism has nothing to do with Islam, that Islam is the religion of peace, that Islam opposes terrorism, Islam is united with us against terrorism, there's no jihad, militant Islamism, all this stuff, that's not Islam, and don't anybody confuse it. Those are not Muslims doing that. And yet, experts now admit they shouldn't have done this. They have, you know what they've done? By admitting this, they have let us know that they agree with us, but because they're afraid of some sort of backlash or panic, they're out there telling us, no, there's nothing to fear from Islam. There's nothing to fear from Muslims. No. You're a bigot if you think that there is. It's a religion of peace and all that. They really know that's caca. I mean, if they're going to sit there and say that a email is obviously a hoax because it was not sent by a devout Muslim, which means only devout Muslims do terror because Allah was not capitalized, it means that whoever sent this really doesn't have proper respect for Allah, and that person could just not be a Muslim. What do you mean, what if it was a typo? Even if it was a typo, whoever sent it didn't care enough to proofread it to make sure that the proper respect was noted. I think this is a big deal. I shouldn't say I haven't seen it made a big deal anywhere. It may well be. But folks, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You know, people talking and asking questions about Trump demanding we understand this or Trump explain this. And I think the real focus is the establishment. They're the ones that need to be answering some questions. I mean, the question, what explains what they're doing, is more relevant about the establishment than Trump. And the establishment has been trying to tell us that what we're seeing is not what we're seeing. That Islamic terrorism, no, it's not that. No. Even though we find out that the perpetrators are devout Muslims and they are jihadists, no, there's nothing to see here. These are lone wolves. They were radicalized out there. They were not. They were natural-born Americans and so forth, and they had a child. They were engaging in the American dream. No. This is not what you think it is. When we know it is. The point is now, so do they. For whatever reasons, they are misleading us when they tell us that Islam is nonviolent and that Muslims don't do terrorism. They know that they do. I guess they're afraid to acknowledge what they know for fear that it would cause a backlash or whatever else, a panic, you name it. And they are afraid of offending people. There's no question it's a huge politically correct component here. But this little story tells us quite a bit. Meanwhile, ISIS was gloating about the hoax. Within minutes of the news of the bomb scare in L.A., ISIS supporters created a web forum titled Panic in the American Los Angeles. ISIS supporters took to social media to gloat about the disruption caused by the credible bomb threats made against the L.A. school system on Tuesday. The threats closed more than 900 schools across L.A., abruptly sending hundreds of thousands of students home and throwing the city into disarray. One supporter posted the following: "Thanks God they are panicked of everything. The soldiers of the caliphate will look after you until the world will be under the rule of Allah." And Allah is capitalized in this post. Another ISIS blogger posted, "Oh God, never make them safe. Put panic in their hearts." They were reveling in the fact that L.A. fell for the hoax and they were able to totally disrupt the screw